Welcome to the Explainer. So picture this, a massive battlefield. On one side, we have an elite alien hunter who has systematically taken down entire squads of the galaxy's most highly trained soldiers. And on the other, an alien superhero with the raw, staggering power to literally move planets. The stakes here couldn't be higher, and the scale is absolutely massive. Today, we're diving into the ultimate interstellar showdown, Superman versus the Predator.
Now the question is pretty simple, but man, the debate is legendary. Who actually wins this fight? Well, let's settle this today. If we completely strip away all the fanboy bias and just look at the pure canonical stats, who mathematically walks away from this clash?
All right, Section 1, Meet the Contenders.
Let's look at the literal tail of the tape here, because the physical disparities are just wild. Take Superman. Powered by the radiation of a yellow sun, his strength level is completely off the charts. We're talking earth-shaking, mountain-moving power. His speed? He can cross the entire globe in seconds. Plus, he's bringing heat vision, freeze breath, super hearing, and near invulnerability to the table. Then you look at the Predator. Now, the Predator doesn't have superpowers in the traditional comic book sense. Instead, it relies on the elite physical strength and speed of its highly evolved species, all backed up by incredibly advanced, specialized armor. So it's essentially godlike physical feats taking on technologically enhanced, elite biological agility.
But you know, every fighter has a glass jaw, right? Looking at Superman's weaknesses, what you should really take away here is how incredibly specific and rare his vulnerabilities actually are. You literally need kryptonite, magic, or red sun radiation. If you don't happen to have those three extremely specific things in your back pocket, he is fundamentally near invulnerable to conventional attacks. The Predator, on the other hand, well, despite being the galaxy's most elite killer, it's ultimately bound by traditional biology and mortality. It bleeds, it can be poisoned, crushed, or stabbed. You know the drill. It has biological limits.
To compensate for that whole mortality thing, though, the Predator brings an absolute, undeniable armory to the fight. We're looking at devastating shoulder-mounted plasma casters, razor-sharp wrist blades for close quarters, the highly lethal combo stick, net launchers built to violently pin down prey, and of course, that iconic last resort self-destruct device. Honestly, this isn't just standard gear. This is a highly lethal, technologically advanced hunting kit designed to systematically neutralize targets before they even realize they're in a fight.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 2, The Challenger's Path, Hunting Strategy.
To make this a truly engaging explainer, we really need to use a concept known as steel manning. Basically, that means presenting the strongest possible version of your opponent's position. We're not just throwing these two into an empty room for a fair, honorable boxing match. Come on, Predators are master strategists. They don't fight fair, they hunt. So we're going to strategically steel-man the Predator by looking at its optimal advantages, letting it use the environment and its stealth to its absolute maximum potential. So, what does that optimal, terrifying hunt actually look like? Well, step 1. The Predator activates its cloaking tech to completely hide its approach. This ensures Superman might not even see the first strike coming, since the hunter is entirely invisible to the naked eye. Step 2, it tracks the Man of Steel from a safe distance using precise biological thermal vision. And finally, step 3, it strikes from a completely hidden vantage point with the plasma caster. The goal? Total vaporization from range before any hand-to-hand melee combat ever even begins. This sequence right here, that is the Predator's absolute bread and butter.
Moving on to Section 3, The Champion's Reality, God-Tier Advantages. The absolute turning point of this matchup becomes crystal clear when we compare these two realities. Think about what the Predator's tech is normally designed to destroy. We know a plasma blast can punch a massive hole straight through solid concrete and heavily armored military vehicles, which is absolutely devastating if you're a human soldier. But then look at Superman's durability. The guy regularly shrugs off entire exploding buildings. He treats armor-piercing rounds like they're just raindrops bouncing off his chest. The Predator's entire technological arsenal is meticulously calibrated for human or similar biology, and that is a huge problem, because that calibration is utterly, hopelessly useless against a target whose skin casually tanks artillery fire.
To really drive this point home, just look at Superman's high-end feats. Lifting massive mountains? Yep, he's done it. Surviving point-blank nuclear blasts? Check that box. Moving at speeds that break the sound barrier without even breaking a sweat? That is literally effortless for him. The sheer unbelievable scale of his raw physical power proves exactly why his stats put him in a completely different weight class. Look, even if the Predator magically manages to land a perfect stealthy hit with the wrist blade slash, we're talking about a durability cap so massive that conventional physical damage simply wouldn't break the skin.
Oh, and remember that awesome cloaking tech the Predator relies on? Yeah, well, super senses completely negate cloaking tech. Superman doesn't just rely on normal, visible light vision, he has hyper-acute super hearing and heat vision level sensory perception. That means even if the Predator is 100% optically invisible, the sound of its heartbeat, the rhythm of its breathing, and its radiant body heat would instantly give away its exact position. Seriously, for Superman, a cloaked Predator is just as obvious as a giant neon sign. The element of surprise, which is the hunter's greatest weapon, is entirely stripped away.
All right, Section 4, the judge's scorecard, our final verdict.
Breaking down the win rate here, we've got a massive 90% slice heavily favoring Superman. In any straight toe-to-toe fight, Superman's raw strength, his blinding speed, and his impenetrable durability just make this an incredibly unfair matchup on paper. It's a complete blowout. However, we do have a 10% slice carved out for the Predator. Why? Well, because the absolutely only way the Predator has a real tangible shot is in a prolonged stealth hunt scenario. We're talking repeated hit-and-run attacks over days, incredibly complex environmental traps, and maybe relying on that self-destruct device as a desperate last resort to force a draw. It's a massive, incredible stretch, but honestly, it's the most tactical and interesting version of this fight to imagine. So, the ultimate question I want to leave you with today is this. Does the Predator have any realistic path to victory, or is this just a total, undeniable mismatch right from the start? That wraps up our explainer on this epic showdown. But as we all know, this is exactly the kind of matchup where fans completely disagree. I want to hear from you. Drop your verdict in the comments. Do you see a scenario or a specific trap where the galaxy's greatest hunter actually takes down the Man of Steel? Let me know your thoughts down below, and while you're at it, tell me exactly who you want us to break down next.